Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. If given the chance, attorney John Deaton, who is a member of the XRP community, and he is the attorney that is seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case, if given the chance, he will insist that the court declare XRP to be an asset, because an asset itself cannot just be a security. It's just as ridiculous as the idea of, if you go back to the Howey case, if you were to state that oranges themselves are securities. And so there's this article that just came out from AMB Crypto titled XRP Ripple Effect. Is this the best way to keep the SEC in check? Now, I do want to be clear at the outset of this video that I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a fun hobby about Ripple and XRP and all those asshats over at the SEC. But that's all that's going on here, damn it. And if you don't like it, you can get out. So let's jump into this now. SEC versus Ripple Labs, the cryptocurrency trial of the century, has spurred a debate among many on the need for regulatory clarity on the part of government agencies like the SEC, FinCEN, and the CFTC. Now, the issue of regulation by enforcement, via the example of the Ripple SEC lawsuit, was the subject of the latest edition of the Fourth Branch podcast, with the panelists for the same including attorney John Deaton, Carol Goforth, and Rosalind Layton, among others. Understandably, Deaton came out vocally in opposition to the SEC's action against Ripple Labs and its executives, an action he termed as absurd and incredible overreach. According to him, the SEC's decision to charge the blockchain firm completely disregards the Department of Justice and FinCEN declaring XRP as a convertible digital currency and not a security when they sued Ripple Labs for not registering as a money transmitter, a company a few years ago. Yeah, and so this is exactly why, if Congress would just act, we wouldn't be in this position, because frankly, it's not crystal clear who should be governing what, and so you have all these federal agencies fighting for a domain over the asset class, effectively. Is something being traded as a security? Is it a commodity? Is it an actual currency? Well, everyone's arguing over this, and what an asset, what XRP actually is, that'll determine who should regulate it. And so, if Congress would offer the clarity necessary, then we would at least know whether the SEC or the CFTC or just so on and so forth should be in charge of it. We don't even have that clarity. And so we don't have that, and then on top of that, you have the SEC jumping in like a bunch of asshats that they are, insisting not only are they in charge, but just claiming a bunch of stuff that is hypocritical, doesn't follow logic, and the behavior is unethical as a result of everything that they're doing here. And it's just a complete train wreck. And so the SEC, Deaton alleged, failed to intervene back when it granted permission to Ripple to buy 9% of MoneyGram, knowing that XRP would be traded or distributed by Ripple to MoneyGram. In fact, this was the case even when Coinbase went to the SEC in 2019 before it listed XRP. And so this is one of my favorite things in terms of ridiculousness level of facts surrounding this case. The SEC allowed the partnership with Ripple and MoneyGram to go forward, knowing that it would increase the adoption of XRP, which they claim harms investors. Now, of course, we as XRP holders know the truth of the matter is that the SEC is harming us, but they're claiming that they're protecting investors, right? That's the claim. And so the other thing that, actually, if I could just mention this, I've mentioned it a few times before, but this is my very favorite, most ridiculous thing that the SEC has done. They're claiming that XRP, of course, is a security, and that Ripple has sold XRP as a security. Well, the SEC themselves hired a third party to run a validator, or at least it was a node, so that they could learn more about how XRP and crypto worked in general. And when they did this using taxpayer funds, they were actually paying to facilitate what they consider to be illegal transactions by Ripple supporting the XRP ledger and the actual movement of XRP. The government participated in this. shouldn't the SEC sue itself for doing that? This is absurd, but that is actually it. So in terms of ridiculous things and behaviors, claims, whatever, out of everything that I've seen, that's my favorite, most ridiculous one, that the SEC ran a note themselves, validating transactions here. And yeah, again, it was outsourced, but that just makes it worse because then there's just extra taxpayer dollars out there taking care of this. So whatever. And so anyway, the point is here, and here's a quote from Deaton on regards to this Ripple MoneyGram partnership, and they didn't do anything about it, referencing the SEC. Yes, indeed. And so here it's worth pointing out that many, including those seemingly in favor of the SEC's action, have decried the timing of the said lawsuit, especially since it's been years since Ripple and XRP have been in the market. The aforementioned acts of omission are a critical part of the defendant's fair notice defense in the aforementioned lawsuit, a defense under which they have claimed that Ripple didn't have reasonable fair notice that its sales of XRP were illegal sales of securities. And now we get to my favorite part of all this. We get some quotes from John Deaton coming up here. Attorney John Deaton is the lead representative of a class of XRP holders who wish to intervene in the said lawsuit. When asked what a settlement in the present case would absolutely need, he responded with the following. So here's a quote. If the judge allows us to participate, the first thing I'm going to do is file a declaratory judgment, asking the court as a matter of law to say exactly what Judge Castell said in Telegram case, where he said that gram, so that was the coin in the Telegram case, the gram itself is just an alphanumeric code. That's the same with XRP. As a matter of law, XRP itself is an asset, and any settlement will have to distinguish between sales of XRP in those earlier years versus the sales on secondary markets. It's so good to hear that. And see, this is why I really hope that that Deaton ends up getting to have the opportunity to intervene here, because otherwise nobody's sufficiently looking out for our interests as XRP holders. Most certainly not. Sure as hell not the not the SEC, whose mission is to protect investors. And this, which is why it's funny that the SEC is actually claiming that our interests can be sufficiently summed up by Ripple's position. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute. So you, the SEC, it's your mission to protect our interests as investors, and you're saying Ripple has our interests at heart as with us as XRP investors. What in the ever loving hell? Like it doesn't make it just defies all logic and reason here. But look, if there's some sort of decree that Ripple is, that they're found to have sold XRP in a way in the early days that was some sort of infringement upon the way that you're supposed to go to market, whatever, fine, whatever. Whether there's a settlement and Ripple is paying a fine or this or that, or if it's fully adjudicated and so happens, fine. As long as Ripple's still allowed to sell the assets that they hold, because XRP clearly is very decentralized at this point, and as long as XRP can be traded in the country, in the United States, then fine. And as long as it's declared that XRP itself is not a security, then if Ripple gets a slap on the wrist, okay, that's not the end of the world here. We just need to move forward. And so then the piece continues. That being said, there was some pushback from the panel itself, with Professor Carol Goforth among the ones to claim that while the timing of the lawsuit was all wrong, under law, the SEC's actions were perfectly justified. And I've got some stuff to say about this, but here's the quote from Carol Goforth. They, being XRP holders, bought XRP because they expected Ripple to push up the value of the token so that it would be a speculative, profitable investment. No. Stop right there. You are making assumptions about why every XRP investor would purchase XRP, and that is not correct. That is not the reason that I bought XRP. Do you know why I bought XRP? I mean, yes, I think it would be worth more in the future. Certainly, it's admittedly a speculative play, but what I've been counting on from the very beginning is that an ecosystem with multiple developers building on top of the XRP ledger would help to drive actual adoption, increase utility, which represents value, and that XRP, being the asset that makes this all possible, would increase in price over time. But it's not specifically, it's not solely because of Ripple. That's never been my position. Really, seriously, from the beginning, it has not been my position. I mean, outside of maybe the very earliest of days, maybe, but almost all of the XRP that I purchased for the nearly 3 years that I was purchasing XRP, it was not with the expectation that Ripple would push up the price. It would be, they're a part of it, and I understand fine. Happy to acknowledge the most well-known use case, the most well-promoted use case for XRP today is XRP as a bridge currency, but that isn't the sole reason. And this is why I love decentralized cryptocurrencies, because without permission, all sorts of developers can come in and start building stuff, and there's no one to stop them. And that is happening here. And so to state that it's solely Ripple, and that's the reason everyone's doing it, well, how the hell do you know? I'm telling you for sure that's not the reason that I own as much XRP as I do. I'm telling you flat out that is not the case. And so that's quite the assumption to make there. And even if it is true for some, fine, so what? It's still decentralized, but I'm not ceding the point. I think there are all sorts of other individuals out there, myself included, that would say, no, that's actually functionally not true. That's not painting an accurate picture of what's actually going on here. And then she said also the following. It's a common enterprise, and everyone's interest in XRP rises or falls together, and it is something where they are expecting profits from the efforts of Ripple, and that makes it a security. No, this is absurd. So think about this. Let's tackle the first portion of this. It's a common enterprise, and everyone's interest in XRP rises or falls together. No. There are multiple developers, as I cited, building on top of the XRP ledger, and the price of XRP has nothing to do with, or at least very close to 0% to do with what Ripple's doing, as evidenced by the fact, there's data to prove this, that XRP is moving in tandem with the rest of the crypto markets. What the hell kind of a common enterprise is this where XRP price action is not even associated with the activities of Ripple? What in the ever-loving hell are talking about? She is wrong about the facts here. I just don't understand this. It doesn't make sense at all. My gosh. It makes no more sense than stating that, just instead of XRP, like throw in oranges, throw in Howie. Like, in what world does it make sense that would make the orange itself a security? Like, this whole statement that she said here, it's a bunch of nonsense jibber jabber. That's how it strikes me. But people are entitled to their opinions. I just think that she's misguided on this. So you guys let me know what you think, but I found it to be rather fascinating. I'm just thankful that we've got an attorney in John Deaton that is really got the interests of the XRP community at large at the top of his mind. And it's very clear, because all he's saying is leave us alone. Effectively, this is an asset. Leave us alone. That is in the interest of anyone that holds XRP, I would argue, because it's nothing specific about a specific use case or this or that, which makes all the sense in the world, because XRP is used for a ton of different things. People hold it for a ton of different reasons. People buy stuff with it. There's a number of actual use cases out there. So anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Nambo.